Welcome back. This is the 10th and final explainer in our series on MLOps Mastery, the Complete Production Machine Learning Handbook. We're pulling this directly from the experts at Virtualization Options, LLC. They're a fantastic technology research, education, and advisory group out in Colorado. So if you're in IT leadership or management, consider this your authoritative executive briefing. We've spent the previous 9 chapters deep in the technical weeds, right? Pipelines, monitoring, infrastructure, the whole shebang. But today, we're focusing strictly on Chapter 10, building and scaling your MLOps practice. We are zooming way out to look at the big picture. Because, as you're about to see, scaling MLOps across an entire enterprise, it's not a quick weekend deployment, it is a highly structured, multi-year maturity journey. Okay, let's dive into this. We've got a really tight agenda for this strategic briefing. We'll outline the chronological MLOps roadmap, look at how to measure program health with hard numbers, discuss the platform team model, tackle your toolchain strategy, and finally, talk about driving the cultural shift required to make all of this actually work. First up, Section 1, the MLOps roadmap, moving from pilot to enterprise. This is the literal timeline of execution that management needs to follow to get models out of pilot purgatory and into actual value-generating production. And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what that looks like. Look, scaling is a phased 36-month maturity journey. In Phase 1, that's your first 0 to 6 months, your only goal is standardization. You're containerizing training jobs, establishing a model registry, and most importantly, you are absolutely eliminating those manual handoffs. Then you hit Phase 2, spanning months 6 through 18. Automation kicks in here. You're building out CI/CD for machine learning, and you're aiming to get from model approval to production in under a single week. Finally, Phase 3, months 18 to 36. This is the enterprise tier. You're building a fully governed, self-service platform where you can confidently run 10 or more production models with less than 2 full-time employees dedicated to the ops overhead. Moving right along to Section 2, measuring program health with hard KPIs. A roadmap is great, but let's be real. Management needs concrete, analytical targets to measure success along that 36-month timeline. Let's sprint through the 5 critical numbers you need to track. First up, 1 week. That is your target deployment frequency. Once a model is actually validated and approved, it should take no longer than a single week to release it into production. If it's taking months, well, your pipeline is broken. Next, 24 hours. This is your maximum acceptable mean time to detect degradation. Listen, when data drift starts happening, your monitoring stack needs to alert you within a day, not at the end of the quarter when your business metrics suddenly tank. 24 hours. Third metric, 5 days. This is the strict target for your end-to-end training to production lead time. From the exact moment you decide to train on new data to the moment that shiny new model is live, the clock is ticking. And 5 days, that's the enterprise standard. Number 4, 70%. You've got to target a greater than 70% GPU utilization rate. This is absolutely crucial for cost efficiency. To put that into perspective, the industry average right now sits at an incredibly dismal 30 to 40%. Literally, if you aren't hitting 70%, you are leaving massive amounts of money on the table in idle compute costs. And finally, 30%. You want to see a greater than 30% model reuse rate across your projects. When different teams are reusing existing models instead of just starting from scratch every single time, that's the ultimate proof that your centralized platform is actually scaling efficiently. All right, Section 3, the platform team model. We've established the roadmap and the metrics, but here is a reality check. Those KPIs are completely impossible without the right human structure in place. The platform team model is a centralized ML platform team of 5 to 10 engineers serving multiple data science teams by providing shared infrastructure, tooling standards, and self-service templates to reduce duplicated effort and enforce governance at scale. So the crucial point is, this specific structure solves the massive problem of duplicated effort across isolated teams. You definitely don't want 5 silo teams building 5 fragile deployment pipelines, right? You want one robust platform that everybody uses. Which brings us to Section 4, toolchain strategy and standardization. Now that we've got the people sorted out, let's talk tech. As IT leaders, you have to be highly strategic and objective about the tools you actually allow into your environment. I want you to just let this quote from the source material sink in for a second. Proliferation of tools is the #1 cause of MLOps technical debt. Every new, shiny tool a team adopts just adds compounding complexity. The advisory here is super strict. Choose one orchestrator, one experiment tracker, and one serving framework, and enforce it ruthlessly. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how objectively it breaks down the ultimate strategic choice. Do you buy or do you build? If you buy a managed platform, think SageMaker, Vertex AI, Azure ML, you get incredible speed to value and a massively reduced ops burden. But you're going to pay a higher unit cost at scale. On the flip side, if you build using open source tools like Kubeflow or MLflow, you get that multi-cloud portability and limitless customization, but you're paying for it with a much higher initial engineering investment. There's really no wrong answer here, but you absolutely must commit to a lane. And finally, Section 5, driving the cultural shift. We've covered the roadmap, the KPIs, the org structure, the tools. But here is a massive warning for leadership. Even the absolute perfect technological setup will fail completely without cultural accountability. This right here is your primary cultural mandate. Data scientists must own model quality in production. The old culture, a data scientist building a model on their laptop, tossing it over the wall to IT, and totally washing their hands of it, yeah, that's dead. Building models is no longer divorced from running them. Let's move to and see how this builds into concrete tactical steps. First, you establish on-call rotations for your production models. Seriously, when accuracy degrades at 2 a.m., the data scientist who built the model gets the alert right alongside the platform engineer. And second, create shared SLAs, service-level agreements between those teams from day one. They succeed together or they fail together. Which leaves us with this final critical question to ask yourselves as IT leaders. Is your organization culturally ready to enforce shared SLAs between data science and platform teams? Implementing the tech, well, that's just engineering. Changing how your teams collaborate and share accountability, that is the true challenge of MLOps mastery. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer of the MLOps handbook. Take these strategies, assess your own organizational readiness, and hey, start building your 36-month roadmap today.